Alaska is in the news because of President Trump's meeting with President Putin to discuss the Ukraine war in a summit that they are holding in Alaska. But how far back does America's relationship with Russia go? And did Alaska play a role from the start between the two nations? Well, when I wrote my most favorite book that I've written, American Phoenix, I discovered that when John Quincy Adams became America's top diplomat to Russia, that the Russian government under Emperor Alexander I wanted to discuss the great land of Alaska with the United States. The, the Russians were establishing trade posts in Alaska so that they could trade with North America and China. But the British merchant class, the British sea captains, were selling weapons to the native tribes in Alaska, and those native tribesmen were using those weapons against the Russians. So the Russian government asked John Quincy Adams to pass a law to stop this practice. Well, what I love about this story is that John Quincy Adams showed that he was a man of integrity. And he explained to the Russian government that, sure, it would be easy for Congress to pass a law doing what they request, banning the sale of weapons, but there would be no way to enforce it, even if they were inclined to do so. Which, of course, because of the Second Amendment, Congress was not going to be inclined to stop the sale of weapons. But in this particular case, this showed John Quincy Adams's integrity. And the Russians realized that he was shooting straight with them, that yes, they couldn't enforce any law that might be passed in Congress because we didn't control the west coast of the United States of America as it stands today. We didn't have a California or an Oregon or a Washington state. And so the issue of Alaska was put on hold between the United States and Russia. And of course, decades later, Russia sold Alaska, the great land, to the United States of America. And that's why it's a great place for President Putin of Russia and President Trump to meet. Alaska is a natural place for them to do so. So I hope this gives you a little bit more information. You can hit like and subscribe. My books are on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can get American Phoenix through those channels. And please hit like and subscribe, and let's celebrate America's 250th together, because that's why I'm recording these videos for you.